Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Dave, and we're back for our next reading of the New Testament. For those who've been following along, you know that we are in the book of Hebrews, and we're reading out of the New King James Version. And remember, if you don't have a Bible, you can read for free at Bible.com, or you can download the YouVersion app on any Android or iOS device. Before we get started, I want to ask my prayer warriors for an unspoken prayer request. It's very serious to me, very, very personal. So if you could pray for me, I would greatly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Where two or three are gathered together, there he is in the midst. All right. Hebrews chapter 12. The race of faith, the discipline of God, renew your spiritual vitality, the glorious company, hear the heavenly voice. For a total of 29 verses, and the next to last chapter of Hebrews. So let's go ahead and get started. Therefore we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and he sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. For consider him who endured such hostility from sinners against himself, lest you become weary and discouraged in your souls. You have not yet resisted to bloodshed, striving against sin. And you have forgotten the exhortation which speaks to you as to sons. My son, do not despise the chastening of the Lord, nor be discouraged when you are rebuked by him. For whom the Lord loves, he chastens, and scourges every son whom he receives. If you endure chastening, God deals with you as with sons. For what son is there whom a father does not chasten? But if you are without chastening, of which all of you have become partakers, then you are illegitimate and not sons. Furthermore, we have human fathers who corrected us, and we paid them respect. Shall we not much more readily be in subjection to the Father of spirits and live? For they indeed for a few days chastened us as seemed best to them, but he for our profit, that we may be partakers of his holiness. Now no chastening seems to be joyful for the present, but painful nevertheless afterwards. It yields the peaceable fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. Therefore strengthen the hands which hang down, and the feeble knees, and make straight the paths for your feet, so that what is lame may not be dislocated, but rather be healed. Pursue peace with all people and holiness, without which no one sees the Lord. Looking carefully lest anyone fall short of the grace of God, lest any root of bitterness springing up cause trouble, and by this many become defiled. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person like Esau, who for one morsel of food sold his birthright. For you know that afterward, when he wanted to inherit the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place for repentance, though he sought it diligently with tears. For you have not come to the mountain that you may be touched, that burned with fire, and to blackness and darkness and tempest, and the sound of the trumpet and the voice of words, so that those who heard it begged that the word should not be spoken to them any more, for they could not endure what was commanded. And if so much as a beast touches the mountain, it will be stoned or shot with an arrow. And so terrifying was the sight that Moses said, I am exceedingly afraid and trembling. But you have come to Mount Zion, to the city of the living God, and to heavenly Jerusalem, an innumerable company of angels, to the general assembly and the church of the firstborn, who are registered in heaven, to God and the judge of all, to the spirits of just men made perfect, to Jesus the mediator of the new covenant, and to the blood of sprinkling that speaks better things than that of Abel. See that you do not refuse him who speaks, for if they did not escape who refused him, who spoke on earth, much more shall we not escape if we turn away from him who speaks from heaven, whose voice then shook the earth. But now he has promised, saying, Yet once more I shake, not only the earth, but also heaven. Now this, yet once more. indicates the removal of those things that are being shaken, as of things that are made, and of things which cannot be made, which cannot be shaken may remain. Therefore, since we are receiving a kingdom which cannot be shaken, let us have grace by which we may serve God acceptably, with reverence and godly fear, for our God is a consuming fire. That concludes our reading of Hebrews chapter 12. I hope you enjoyed it. Hebrews is such a powerful, powerful book of the Bible. So, thank you. And from Central Texas, God bless.
When life keeps falling and wonder where he is in all this mess, he's right there to guide you. Unseen, you're not